Hi Leo, this is your forecast for the month of October 2017. If you have visited me before, I'd like to thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Leo Sun, Leo Rising, or Leo Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages with videos on love, finance, and other readings. So Leo, this first week you start with some new emotional energy. This could be a child, this could be a water sign person, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. This could be somebody who is artistic, or who is creative, or who is introspective. Maybe they are focused on learning about emotional issues. So for some of you, this is some type of emotional news that you're going to get this week. For others of you, there's a focus on offering your services or being in the service industry. Now, romantic-wise, this could be a new relationship or new feelings that you have for someone, and maybe you're trying to figure out how to navigate the relationship. This is new territory in some way. Maybe it's the early stages of dating. For some of you, this is a change in your emotions, and so you're looking at some attachments that you have, some relationship, and you're really thinking about it. You're going over it. Maybe it was somebody that you just jumped right into the relationship without giving it a lot of thought. And now, after reflecting on it, you're thinking about the consequences that are coming with getting involved with this person. Some things that perhaps you hadn't considered before. Whatever it is, your sensitivities are heightened this week, and you are able to connect to the emotional undercurrent of a situation. When people are saying things, whether they're coming right out and saying everything, you're getting it, or what they're not saying, or how they're acting. You feel and sense the emotional backstory to situations. This could also be a very social week where you're getting invitations, offers, you're hearing emotional news like people are getting engaged or married, or they're having a baby. So that could be something that you're hearing, or maybe that's in your own world directly. Whatever it is, you are re-evaluating situations, and again, you're looking at something with more honesty. If before you had painted this rosy picture, now you're seeing things for what they are, and those connections where you were driven by your desire and you thought that this was your destiny, now you realize that perhaps it was only your desire. So this is a week where you reach a turning point emotionally. If you've been traveling north for a long time with somebody, this is the week where now you may turn east, or you may go west, but something is going to change for better or for worse. Now, in the positive, you may be trying to create some harmony. Maybe things are falling into place. For others of you, when you reevaluate and you look at a situation, you decide that the relationship really doesn't work for you, and you're going to stop struggling with it. You're going to make a decision. Again, the way you feel about somebody in your life is changing. And, this could be positive. Maybe you have a friendship, and maybe, you've been going along and you realize, I really align with this person. We really connect on a deep level. We could take this friendship and make it into something deeper. We could go into a romance with this thing. So you may make that decision, or maybe you haven't really been putting a lot of effort into your partnership, or maybe you're experiencing a situation with your partner and you're looking at that person again, and you're looking at them with fresh eyes, and you're remembering why you fell in love in the first place. And so in that instance, your love is being invigorated. But for others of you, again, this is a very social week where you just want to meet new people. You want to get out there and mix and mingle. Now, the second week, you have the Ace of Wands. So this is a new beginning, and one that you feel enthusiastic about. You're revved up, you're motivated, you're passionate, you're enthusiastic, you're ready to go. And it feels like life is giving you the thumbs up. So you may be very inspired this week about making a new start. Now, this could be for a new project, some creative endeavor, or just a passionate relationship. But you're looking to start something new in life, and you want to feel confident, and you have the courage to do so. So for some of you, that could be, something taking off, whatever that may be. Maybe you're starting a trip, or you're opening yourself up to some new experience. For some of you, you've looked at something with more realism, and now you just want freedom. For others of you, though, it could be, trying to run away. If something didn't go well for you emotionally last week, you may come to realize that your relationship is vulnerable, and it could be because of some outside pressure, whatever that may be. Could be financial, could be other people. Maybe you're having to deal with other people's problems, and now it's impacting your relationship. For others of you, you may not have come to terms with something, and you may surprise yourself and other people by beginning a relationship that on a gut level doesn't stand a chance in hell. This is not going to go anywhere, and yet you decide you're going to crank it up. For some of you, maybe something happens and you just abruptly, out of the blue, decide you're going to end a relationship here and now. And you do it in such a way and at a time where neither one of you expected it. It just came on all of a sudden, and something just broke, and that's it. Whatever it is, there's something that's different. Now, in the negative, this is something that you wanted to get going that just didn't get off the ground. Maybe it was a false start, or maybe there's a loss of passion. You don't feel the same things, or there was something that you wanted that just didn't come to fruition, some unfulfilled promises, or you feel powerless, or you feel pessimistic. This should be a week of pioneering, but the change that comes this week could come through crisis or reward. There's some circumstances or some personal desires that are driving you to start in a new direction. So again, it could be new friends, you could be renewing something, your relationship could be evolving, you could be getting some creative insights, or you could just be emotionally losing it. There could be some stagnation, or you're turned off about something, or something didn't come through, or you feel unfulfilled. So this is a week about passion either way. Either you're feeling strongly about something, or something has just fizzled out. Now, the third week, you have the Four of Swords. So some of you, maybe you got an offer that you were excited about and you're taking a break, maybe a vacation, maybe you're going on a retreat. But for others of you, there was something that maybe you got excited about it, and again, now you hit this lull spot. Nothing's going on. There's no communication, there's no movement, there's no activity. You're just in a state of somewhat limbo. Now, for some of you, maybe you hit a rough patch and you're trying to recuperate from some kind of illness. Some of you may have connections to people in a hospital, or you're in the hospital, or you're dealing with some kind of medical issue. For others of you, there are issues where there was some social invitations that maybe you weren't thrilled about, and there are issues of somebody being an unwelcome guest or feeling as if they're in exile or a prisoner or an outcast. Maybe this was a project that you were excited about, or some kind of job or work pursuit, and now there's a strike taking place. Whatever it is, this is a week of contemplation. It should be a week of preparation where you are reconsidering some things and what you're going to do next. You may be doing that in solitude, and maybe you're getting a relief from some stress that you've had, but you're deciding to withdraw and do a lot of introspection, do some thinking. So whatever it is, you're trying to figure out what your next move is. Now, this could be a week where something happens where you didn't know what was going on, and something happens in order to excite you. You feel rejuvenated again. You feel restored. But for others of you, something is not turning out the way you hoped, and now you feel like you're in jeopardy somehow, like your security is threatened, or maybe you were excited last week, but now you just can't muster up that enthusiasm. You have a lack of motivation. So it could be that something has ended for you in some way, and you're having to gather yourself to regroup. And there's going to be a temptation for you to take one of two choices, for you to either try too hard and perhaps burn yourself out, for you to peter out, or maybe you're just doing too little because you've just given up on a situation. Now, if you had some good emotional experiences early in the month and you feel good, then this may be a welcome break. You may just be like, I'm going to ride this out. I know what I'm doing. Everything is fine. I'm good. And so you're going to be okay. But for others of you, there are some real issues that you are not addressing. There are just too many details that you're not attending to, too many issues not being addressed, too many matters hanging in limbo. And a large part of that is because you're just hoping that it's all going to work out. You're going to wish this problem away, or act like you don't know about it, or maybe you're going to try to save something or bring some life back into something, or try to motivate somebody. And you're in denial, and that's actually going to harm you. This is a week where there are not a lot of options on the table for you. You don't have a lot of choices. So you're going to have to think up a strategy. You're going to have to figure out what your next move is going to be. This is a week that for you to come up with ways to empower yourself, to harness that personal power, that enthusiasm you may have felt earlier in the month, and manifest those plans and dreams. It could be that you're realizing that you need to step up a bit and take charge and take on a leadership role. Now, if you got some information, or you made some emotional discoveries that you didn't feel good about, maybe you feel like someone has let you down in some way, and you're thinking about that, and maybe you're even waiting on that person to come forward. You want them to explain to you just what the hell was going on. I mean, why did you say that? Or why did you not do this? Or why didn't you come through for me? Or why weren't you this? And you're going to want them to lay it all out and tell you that they're sorry. On the other hand, if that was you, this is going to be a week where you want to lay low. Let's just ride this out, let that emotion die down, and move on. Whatever it is, this is about not being in denial. This is not a week for you to avoid situations that you know you need to handle, because if you don't take care of your issues, they're going to pile up, and then things are really going to get ugly, and you're going to jeopardize other situations. It's going to snowball. You're going to have a domino effect. Now, the last week you have this Ten of Swords. So if you weren't feeling good last week, you didn't know what to do, you may feel like, I don't know, I'm just game over, I'm out. I don't have anything else to give. So you may be feeling overwhelmed, overwrought. You may feel betrayed, victimized, stabbed in the back. Some of you may be actually dealing with illness. Maybe you have some back issues, or somebody's dealing with some surgery. But you may feel as if you've hit bottom. Maybe you're trying to figure out what to do because you've suffered some kind of loss. And maybe this is even something that you feel you've been enduring for quite a while. For some of you, maybe you had a near-death experience and it changed you in some way. This could be a week where, if you're not careful, you can take on a victim mentality. There's a sense of personal defeat, of failure, loss of position, loss of health, loss of honor. And you may just want to give up. You may want to quit struggling. You may want to surrender. There could be some separations. For some of you, this isn't about endings. It may be time for some closure, time to let something go. And maybe you're dealing with all manner of issues, some kind of hardship. It could be a divorce. It could be bankruptcy. It could be a medical issue, some kind of disaster or an illness. But this is a number 10, so you are at the end of a cycle. This is the end of a situation, and those clouds are clearing. So for some of you, you may feel overwhelmed. It could have been you needed a break because everything was coming at you, and everything was happening so quickly you just couldn't even deal with it. But for others of you, maybe nothing was happening at all. You got excited, but then nothing came of something. And some of you, you're trying to figure out what to do to stay feeling motivated because you've endured so much. You feel as if you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it's starting to affect your health. But just know again that this card can also appear when you're at that dark place, but the sun is rising. Success could be just within your grasp. It doesn't matter, even if you've had a loss, if you had a disappointment, if you had a setback. There's a new day tomorrow for you. Now, one of the quickest ways to get there is to change the way you're looking at something, to change your attitude, the way you're thinking. So this is about confronting what is before you. This is not about like giving up, letting go, closing doors, severing ties. This is about reevaluating. In many ways, you are being given another chance. You can look at a situation differently. And this time, you can see it for what it is. Now you can see the flaws. You see why it fell apart. And that information is powerful. It gives you power because now you recognize things that you didn't know before. And now you can come up with a better plan that can make you even more successful. Although this week is not going to be easy, it's going to be difficult for you to motivate yourself, to redirect yourself, to find your sense of purpose. But again, this is not the week to burn those bridges or feel like giving up. No, this is the week for you to empower yourself by making a decision to face whatever it is that you're dealing with. Now, the underlying issue or energy is this moon card. So this is a major card. And for some of you, this is water energy. It could be a Cancer, could be a Pisces. It could be that central to events is a mother figure, could be women in general, could be dealing with the public, could be children, travelers, people who are creative, people who are psychic. It could be that you are working through some psychological or emotional issues that tie to the past and past conditioning, family, domestic affairs, your internal world, your emotional landscape. Some very deep instinctual forces are running through a situation right now. And there's some strong emotions taking place. For some of you, there's heightened psychic awareness. Your intuition is kicking in, and maybe you're getting messages through your dreams, through your imagination. There's something about this month that is a bit mysterious. Something is going on, and things are not quite as they appear to be. You cannot take anything this month at face value. There's some kind of secret truth that will come to light. Something hidden will be revealed. And it may be a psychological breakthrough, an emotional breakthrough. It could be where you realize how you've been taking on a victim role, and you need to make a fresh start. It could be a shift, how to create that shift. It could be you realize where you've been a participant in some self-defeating situations, or you've been wearing some rose-colored glasses in a situation. In the negative, some of you will be confronting situations where you're dealing with liars or imposters or opportunists, or where somebody's conning somebody, or there's been some impracticality about what really is possible. So this could be a month where you have to face your fears. You have to sort out the truth from what is fantasy. And there can be a tendency to want to escape. Maybe you don't want to deal with the situation. You don't want to see it for what it is. It could also be very well that there are some hidden enemies, and there's been some betrayal, some deception. And whatever it is, these encounters are triggering all of your fears, all of your insecurities, and you're having to come to terms with situations. Now, this may play out in negative moods, depression, maybe it could be self-sabotage. For some of you, this is illness. Some of you may be dealing with some gynecological problems or issues connected to food and diet. Whatever it is, this is a month where you are going to have to stop and really, really look at a situation more closely. And this is a month not to fool yourself. This is a month about being truthful. By looking at something with brutal honesty, yourself, other people. This is a month where you're going to feel a lot of emotions, perhaps, ups and downs in emotions, fluctuating moods. You may be irritable or suspicious or anxious, and you don't even know why. Now, part of it is you have a heightened connection to other people. You can pick up on other people's moods. You tap into their motivations. You sense when something is off or not right. And for some of you, in fact, you're going to be hearing several pieces of bad news from other people or about other people. This is something that's emotional for you. And it's going to affect you physically. So you may be more prone to having, again, some digestive issues, some nervous upsets, some stress-related illnesses. And so it's going to be important for you to get a grip on you. How you feel about you determines, what kind of strength you hold this month. If you feel vulnerable, if you feel victimized, then your guard is going to be down. And even if people aren't trying to criticize or offend you, you may feel slighted because you're so vulnerable. This is a month for you to take that Four of Swords and take a break. Take that and relax. Do something that gets you motivated by that Ace of Swords. Connect with people emotionally through that Page of Cups. Find things that you enjoy, because when you do that, the moon will allow solutions to come to you. You'll be able to tap into consciousness to come up with some answers instead of striking out in frustration at other people. So again, this is about getting clear about you, not being in denial about your job, about your health, about your relationships, about looking at ways where you have been hurting yourself, where you have been misappropriating your energy, where you have been allowing your fear or your anger to work against you, an opportunity that could change things for you. And also, again, this is a month where things come up and come out. So anything hidden on your part or the part of others is going to be made known. It's going to be revealed this month. So this is a month to not take on that Ten of Swords. Do not allow yourself to become overwhelmed emotionally. You may have very deep concerns. Perhaps they are financial or otherwise. But the more you put your energy into that and the worry about it, the more draining that will be and the more counterproductive. So for some of you, maybe you're trying to figure out what to do. There was some ending. Somebody you felt something for, and maybe now that's ending. Maybe there was a lot of passion, there was a lot of desire, a lot of love. For some of you, you're looking over situations where you rushed in without giving it a whole lot of thought, and now you're facing the consequences of that. For others of you, you've bottomed out. You don't know what to do. You want to find your passion. And this month, you're encouraged to follow your bliss. Now, this is going to center around issues, situations, things that you haven't been wanting to deal with. Those loose ends that needed to be tied and addressed, things that needed to be closed out. And you can very well achieve your objective. Whatever it is that you're going after, you can make that happen this month. Although you just need to know it's not going to play out with the storyline that you wrote. It's going to be something different. It's going to come in a different package, and it's likely to come at a different time than you were expecting. And this is also about your sense of achievement, your sense of success. And are you helping that or are you hurting that? So this is going to be an emotionally challenging month for you, where you're facing some kind of dilemma, maybe what to do about an ending or an illness, but you're trying to make a choice, and some of you are sitting on the fence. Waiting is your strategy, and others of you, you're just torn. You're torn between, two minds, or you're in opposition to other people. And this is going to connect to some kind of promise or some kind of invitation to something. And questions from the past are influencing the future for you. So this is some kind of situation that is currently out of control, where really nobody's winning, and somebody is going to provide support by calling upon their logic and their reason. And so it's this focus, mental clarity that's going to save the day. But also it could be somebody, pulling back from their emotions and being ruthless, by how quickly and how they deliver their thoughts and their actions. So this is going to be a month of problem solving and ethical concerns. So that may play out legally or on a personal level, as far as what is moral, what is fair, what is right. All right, Leo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.